Yo, what's going on, guys? X-Ray Hawk here. Today what I'm gonna bring you guys is gonna be a brand new video discussing the top 10 cards of the Scarlet and Violet 151 set. This is gonna be my personal list, so let me know down in the comments if you agree, if you disagree, or anything like that. I just thought this would be a good idea to do before the reprint, just to get ready for it and then see which cards we're gonna be going for if we can actually find the cards in stores. But let's go ahead and get right into it. At number 10, I got Dragonair. So I think this card looks absolutely beautiful. I do tend to have a tendency of liking water Pokemon, so kind of look out for that on the list. But I think this card looks absolutely sick. He's in the water. It looks like he's in like a temple or something like that. But I think this card looks beautiful. I think it's very underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about this card or really say anything about this card. But I think it definitely deserves to be on the top 10. And then another thing I should say is that there's so many good cards in this 151 set that it was hard to pack it into 10. I was really debating for the number 10, number 9 spot. But these are the ones that I went for. Like I said, this is my personal list. So let me know if you disagree in the comments, but let's go ahead and go to number 9. At the number 9 spot, I got no other than my boy Squirtle. This card does look very nice. It looks very cute with in the beach, in kind of a different habitat that we see. We usually see him in the city. You never really see him out in the wild like this. So I think this is an absolutely beautiful card. Some people would probably rate it higher just because he's a starter, and I know he's not that cheap. Like, his card's worth a decent amount of money, but for me, it's just a nice looking card. I wouldn't put it anywhere above 9. I think some of the other cards in this set are a lot cooler. At number 8, I got my boy Wartortle, and this might be a little bit biased just because this is my favorite Pokemon. It's always been since I was little and stuff like that. So I got him at number 8. I was gonna put him higher, but I thought I was just being too biased. Dude, but look at this card. This card is actually so sick. He's floating around like he's in the Nirvana album cover. You see the coral reefs and stuff in the bottom of the rocks. You never really see Wartortle like inside the water. Like, you forget that he's a turtle. But he just looks absolutely sick in this angle. And I think this is one of the better. Well, this is by far the best Wartortle card, but I think this is one of the better cards in the set as well. Me personally, maybe I should have put it higher, but I think 8 is what it deserves. I know some people have it lower, but I think this is a very cool card and my personal favorite card of the 151. I just don't think it's the best looking out of the set. Just the one that I want the most. At number 7, I have another super underrated card. Like I said, I do tend to like water Pokemons, so maybe I'm being super biased. I'm not too sure. But Poliwhirl, this card looks so good. Like, look at the ripples on the ground, the raining. This guy looks kind of sad. He's looking at his reflection. Maybe in the middle of a midlife crisis or something like that. I'm not too sure. But it looks absolutely sick. This card looks beautiful. This card's just beautiful, absolutely. And I think, like, if this was like maybe like Squirtle or something like that, this would be by far the number 1 card. But it's Poliwhirl, which is not the most popular Pokemon, but still, I think this is a very cool card, very cool artwork. It's definitely number 7 for me. Alright, at the number 6 spot, I got Venusaur, and I know this one's gonna be a little bit controversial just because some people have it in the top 3 of like almost every video or every set that people have, and I do understand where they're coming from. This card just doesn't do it for me. I just don't like this card all that much. I think he's a very cool Pokemon. I think the plants are very cool. I think this card in person looks very sick, but for me, it's just not up there with the top 3 or even the top 5. I don't think they crack it, and it's not because it's like grass or anything like that. This card just doesn't do it for me, but I think it's very nice. I just don't think I think it's overhyped, I guess I should say. At number 5, we do, however, have Bulbasaur. So this is coming dead in the middle. I think this is by far the best starter illustration rare that there is. I think this guy napping there looks so cute. I think all the leaves complement it so well. It's not like Venusaur where there's just too much going on. Like, you can't really see, and he's like not really. Like, he's supposed to be the main part, but he's just kind of there in the corner. This guy, I think, suits him well. I think he's so small, he can have that. So he's in the corner. He's just kind of camouflaging in there, having a good time with all the greenery and stuff like that. And I think this card looks absolutely sick. All right, at number 4, another card which I think a lot of people will not agree with is Blastos. I do think this Pokemon is extremely cool. I think that's why a lot of people love him. But I don't think this card has enough detail. Like, I can see that he's underwater, which you don't really see that often, and it does look very sick. But I wish there was just more around him. It looks like he's like deep underwater where there's like maybe some rocks and stuff like that. But I wish there was just more going around, kind of like the wart turtle one where there's like coral reefs and stuff like that. I think that would be number one by far. Maybe he was like swimming in a different angle. I'm not too sure. Something throws me off, but I do think it's a very sick card. If I packed this, I would be extremely hyped. But for me, he's at number 4. I don't think he cracks into the top 3. What is getting into the top 3 is going to be the Alakazam EX. This card is absolutely beautiful. I love everything about it. It looks like he's trying to master his abilities and stuff like that. He's playing around with the spoons. He looks absolutely sick to me. This card is phenomenal. Look at the detail on it. You know, it kind of reminds me of a Studio Ghibli film. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, like House Moving Castle, stuff like that. It looks so sick to me. Definitely deserves to be in the top 3. If I pack this, I'm gonna be extremely happy. But yeah, definitely top 3 for me, no doubt. And then we're gonna get into the top 2. At the number 2 spot, we got Charizard. I know a lot of people have this card as their number 1 pick, and I just don't agree. I think this card is super sick. I do think Charizard, of course, is an extremely cool Pokemon. But it's just every time the Charizard is in a set, it's the number 1 card. So like, I get why it's so expensive. I get that, but I just don't think this card is as nice as the number 1 card. Like, it's extremely cool. He's flying off a volcano, and all the colors look really nice, and he looks like he's by the sun. It looks extremely sick. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I think this is definitely a 1 through 3 card. Like, any one of these 3 could be swapped around, and it would be fine. It's just not number 1 for me. But yeah, definitely number 2, extremely sick card. And let's move on to number 1. Number 1 for me is going to be the Zapdos EX. Of course, this is everything for me. You got the 3 birds in the back. Zapdos looking super cool, and the colors just look so nice. They're like in the air by the clouds. This card by far the best card. The first time I saw this card, I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be the chase card. This is the best card of the set. Period. Like, I've never thought about it any other way. And then I saw the Charizard and the Blastos and everything be a little bit more expensive, and I just thought that was a little bit odd because this card looks so sick. I think in the future this card is going to be worth a lot of money, or at least it's going to be like extremely collectible, just because all 3 birds are there and it looks extremely sick. But yeah, that basically does it for the video. I just want to share my top 10 cards of Pokemon 151 for the reprint. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully we can actually get some packs so we can actually start opening some. Yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see in the comments. Would you guys like to see that, or maybe more top 10 lists of a different set? But let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But thank you for watching. It's been X-Ray Hawk. Peace.